History's purpose is nestled right inside the letters that make up the word. Events throughout human history have traditionally been passed down through stories. Iconic legends such as Homer's Odyssey and Beowulf laid the foundation for extraordinary, captivating experiences like Supergiant's Hades and Disney's Hercules. Digital games and films are both excellent mediums for storytelling, but when it comes to retelling historical fiction, there's definitely one medium that reigns supreme. I'll be breaking down the pros and cons for interactive and visual media during this video. At their core, digital games are designed to provide a fun escape from reality by providing players with the tools to navigate an experience while learning, adapting, and persevering along the way. Several digital games attempt to capture the essence of history by selecting a specific time period to ground its story and aesthetics in. Take for example Assassin's Creed Origins, which drops players directly into the world of ancient Egypt at its height, experiencing its vast landscapes, enriching daily life, and fascinating aesthetics. That's why the first pro for digital games is player involvement. By giving players a toolkit to explore an open area, much like the Assassin's Creed series does, the medium of games can immerse players into a completely virtual world, separate from their own, allowing them to experience something brand new. Which leads us into our second pro for digital games, allowing players to interact with an entirely new world. Due to the volatile nature of digital games, it's easy for players' immersion in the game to be interrupted. But that's a good thing. In games like Hades, players are provided with all the time they want to explore the game's world, appreciate the art, and get to know the characters that make up the rich and detailed story world. Games have another pro, the free exploration of a given space. Although this freedom comes with the price that player experiences can differ from user to user, meaning not everyone will have the same controlled, linear interaction with the same virtual world. This is different from a film, which ensures every viewer is getting the same experience, depending on which seat you got in the movie theater. Lastly, when it comes to digital games, the biggest elephant in the room that people don't talk about is the cost. There's so many different systems and components that go into crafting a solid gaming experience. So when it comes to learning, the price to get into gaming can be much higher than expected. Much like the streaming services dominating the digital marketplace, gaming has its own service known as Xbox Game Pass, which, just like the popular services like Hulu or Peacock, Game Pass has multiple tiered subscriptions that allow users to have tailored experiences to cater to what they own. Over the last 2 centuries, films and TV shows have dominated popular culture since their inception. Whether it's a trip to the cinema or a trip to your cozy couch, it's easy to relax and watch stories unfold. Films and television series that teach history are abundant and can be found anywhere from the History Channel to YouTube. Films such as Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean on Disney Plus and The Seven Samurai on HBO Max are available for easy access as long as users have a membership to their respective streaming services. Honestly, that hurts a film's accessibility in the long run, since the content is spread across different platforms. The camera work and planning that is put into the shots that make up a movie can really lend themselves to completing the overall narrative. Directors do their best to portray the proper experience for content to be understood by the audience. Video games typically give players control over a character's movement and the camera's point of view. With this level of accessibility, games give users an entirely new experience that films simply can't match up to. When it comes to learning, especially through historical fiction, viewers can struggle to define the line between reality, glossed history, and the figures being presented. This is because many aspects of history are left out or modified in favor of a more palatable audience experience. Take, for example, the medium redefining musical Hamilton. While the story and music lends itself to a decently accurate retelling of the events that take place after the American Revolution, The show glosses over specific historical aspects that are typically forgotten in fictional adaptations of history. Lastly, the limited runtime of films and television shows stunt their ability to give viewers the freedom to explore and fully absorb the world presented to them. The contrast of these two mediums has brought out both the best and worst aspects of modern-day digital entertainment. When it comes to storytelling through visual mediums, viewers are able to relax and be enthralled by the on-screen narrative as the camera takes them through worlds of film. For the more explorative learner, digital games can provide a virtually infinite amount of time to immerse oneself into the world of a game. Avid learners all around the world can find outstanding stories and experiences waiting for them in both interactive and visual media. But when it comes to gaining a more fulfilling experience, digital games definitely provide a greater opportunity to explore a given space than films do. While each side has their strengths and weaknesses, if a new learner had to learn about history through experiences, a game like Chernobyl, out on the PlayStation VR, is a great example of a piece of media that seeks to use history, and in this case, the Chernobyl disaster, to entertain and teach people about how dangerous the area was. I'm excited to see what new and thrilling adventures designers are coming up with to take new and unique spins on history and entertainment. I'm Joseph Schiro. Thanks for watching.